Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on My Old Ass, starring Aubrey Plaza, who I love, as an older version of one of the characters. She goes on a mushroom trip in her 20s and meets her older self. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 14, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, the weird thing is, she has this trip, and she goes back in time, and, well, Aubrey doesn't, but she has this mushroom trip and meets her older self. And not only that, her older self then calls her from the future and can continue to talk to her somehow and tells her to avoid all the mistakes she's about to make, which she sort of does, which I guess would change her life, but they don't really show you how. It's very strange. I don't know how this movie can work. It's rated R for adult situations. Written and directed by Megan Park. It has good banter, mostly because I'm very biased for Aubrey Plaza. But there's a lot going on here where it's like, oh, you're young and you're in your 20s, and avoid Chad, even though you're going to fall in love with him and have sex with him for the first time and probably get pregnant and stick with him for, I don't know. But instead, she then has a lesbian affair, or maybe she has a different affair. I don't know. And then she says to, be kind to your mother and spend more time with your brother. And it's just like, some of this is good advice, but then, like, is she actually changing her own path? I don't know. I am very suspicious of this. It feels very much like an Aubrey Plaza movie because it's called My Old Ass, and I could see her saying something like that. She doesn't seem to be the main character, though. She's a supporting character. And then, like, I don't know, they see her rapping here. Is she instead give it up to be rich and famous instead of... I think they imply Aubrey Plaza is a mom in the future. And is she undoing that? Because that would be a very kind of sad thing, I think. That she would undo her future as a mom. Yeah, that'd be kind of messed up. I don't know. I don't put anything past Hollywood these days. So let's break it down. So first act, chick's in her 20s and she goes on a mushroom trek with her friends in the forest. They take too much. They all pass out, but she sees her older self and has a big long conversation with her. Okay. Next day, she wakes up, thinks it was all a dream or a vision or whatever. She remembers some of it, maybe not all of it. But then she gets a call from her future self. Didn't think it would work, but somehow it's working. And so now they talk semi-regular, and she keeps giving her advice on her own life, thereby not changing the history somehow. Or does she change the history and make her life super awesome? Or does... I don't know how this could work. So, I mean, I kind of like it. The problem with this movie, in my view, it would be this. I don't know this character. So you're changing her deal. So you got to explain to me what her deal was at first. And you got to make it sound bad enough that I'm like sort of rooting for her to change it for the better. But it doesn't sound like Aubrey Plaza in the future, is that bad. Sounds like she's okay. But then towards the end of the trailer, the younger version says something like, oh, you have to listen to me. You have to be young and make mistakes. So maybe at the end she just tells her to F off and does that. Which then kind of makes the whole movie pointless. I'm not really sure what we're going for here. I'm very confused. Would I see this? Doubtful. Even though I love me some Aubrey Plaza. I think she's very charismatic. And it seems like a good role for her. She's being snarky. But yeah, I don't know. Feels like it could get very preachy or very convoluted. I'm not sure which. I can't really see an ending. I guess she tells her older self to get lost and then kind of changes some of it. Like she doesn't go out with Chad, I guess. Whoever Chad is. And maybe, the future is open. I guess that's the deal. So, yeah. My Old Ass. Let's read it. Oh, from MGM. So that's going to be on Amazon. All right. Big description. In this fresh coming-of-age story, an 18th birthday mushroom trip brings free-spirited Elliot, that's a girl's name? Elliot, Maisie Stella, face-to-face with a wisecracking 39-year-old self, Aubrey Plaza. But when Elliot's old ass starts handing out warnings about her younger self should and shouldn't do, Elliot realizes she has to rethink everything about family, love, and what's becoming a transformative summer. I don't like that term. James Lindsay has made me very wary of that term when you say transformative. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it seems like the whole premise of this movie would put the kibosh on what would be a fun summer. Unless the future was like she's 39, single mom with 5 different baby daddies, and she's overweight and smoking and has a terrible life. Maybe if she has a super terrible life but then why would she take the advice of her older self? Kind of doesn't make, I don't know how this could work. But anyhow, I do like Aubrey Plaza. If she was topless in this, I would definitely say it. Anyhow, that's it for me. Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the other platforms, which I can't mention on YouTube for some reason. Did a live stream tonight, so it's very late. I may not get to post that live stream to the other sites until tomorrow or later. So check it out when you can. We'll see you at Crossroad Comics and Collectibles 4-7 in Pittman, New Jersey. Thanks to all who came out to Sunrose Books today. I gotta go. We'll see you tomorrow.